How did these guys pop on your radar?
764 Group is a Satanist cult group that focuses on extreme violence. One of the main things that they focus on is extortion towards children. They believe that nothing matters. They extort children into cutting their wrists, engraving their names into their chests, their legs. They've had children commit suicide live on camera in front of audiences of people while they get cheered on. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
What is 764? What is it?
So I'll tell you in my own words first. 764 Group is a Satanist cult group that focuses on extreme violence. And one of the main things that they focus on is sextortion towards children. They're labeled as a nihilist group. And for anyone that doesn't know what a nihilist is, it just means like they believe that nothing matters. There's a group called it, but no lives matter. No human life matters. Nothing matters. That's what a nihilist is. And these people have proved over and over again that they fit exactly the description that they're labeled as. And there are a ton of offshoots of this group, which I want to make it very clear that the main reason why they do a lot of the things that I'm about to show you is to get the recognition for it. There is to get the recognition individually, even if they're part of a group or a group that, they just want their group out there in any way, whether it's negative or positive. This group isn't looking for positive attention. I'll just be candid about it and tell you they extort children out of sexual material. They extort children into cutting their wrist, hurting themselves, cutting areas of their body, engraving their names into their chests, their legs, their arms, their faces. They've had children commit suicide live on camera in front of audiences of people while they get cheered on. They convince children to kill animals in their house, like their pet cats or pet dogs. They try to convince them to kill their family members, commit mass murders, bestiality, incest, you name it. A lot of it has already been done. And I have a lot of examples of that to show you today. And that is only with two of these groups that we've been doing passive reconnaissance on for a short period of time. There is plenty of other active investigations that are going on with other organizations and that I may or may not have involvement in. But what I can show you today is based on what Sentinel and I have found in a relatively short period of time. And it's going to blow your mind. It's absolutely disgusting. And there's more to it, but it was created by it was unbelievable. But a 15-year-old boy started this group in Texas.
A 15-year-old boy?
15-year-old boy started the group. He was the beginning of it, and he, from what I read, was a nonverbal kid that had some issues. I don't want to glorify this kid or talk about him in any way where anyone would feel bad for him, because he created something that is the worst thing next to, all the other things that we've talked about. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. We'll see how you feel about it when you see it. But it was all started from this kid, and there's something called, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's called the COM. And the COM is a collection of mostly teenagers, but there's adults in there as well that congregate on the internet. The COM is short for the community. And they congregate on the internet, and they dox, meaning like release personal information on people. They SWAT, meaning they send SWAT teams to people's houses just to, scare them and to get recordings of them being swatted so they can use it to brag. Like, for example, they'll call in to a local department and say, hey, my name is John Doe. I have bombs strapped to the windows. I have my family strapped to the chairs. I'm going to shoot them all if any police enter the door. They're going to say all these horrible things so that a SWAT team, responds. And that's what swatting is. I've personally been swatted 3 times, 2 of which police actually showed up, and it was a big deal. I have a video of one of them, but I never gave them the recognition that it happened. There was no proof that it happened other than my recordings of it that I saved on my phone. I didn't want to give them the credit, So that's the COM. The 764 group actually came from the comm. And that doesn't mean all of the people in the comm have their own problems. They do their own stupid stuff. They've been torturing me since I was on your show 3 years ago, releasing my credit report, my personal information, sending pizzas to my houses, USPS boxes to my houses, and on like pretty much thousands of boxes. No, literally thousands.
Sending what to your house?
USPS boxes. Like,
why?
Because they're free. Like, you can order them on the USPS site, and they'll just keep sending pallet after pallet after pallet of these boxes. It's like just to be annoying, though. Like, they do it to be annoying and to get a reaction out of you. That's the comm, and a lot of them don't like me, and that's I'll keep the comm pretty short because they're a whole different topic, but usually just annoying. I wouldn't say that they're hackers. I would say they're more annoying, and they have technical abilities. Getting information on people, the way that they mostly do it is they like to use the term TLO, which TLO is just something TransUnion offers to run a report on somebody. And they'll use like a stolen private investigator's account to run somebody's name, get their social credit report and all of the above. And if they don't have access to one, they'll pay $15 to someone that does. And that's how they got my information, which I don't care. I genuinely don't. My credit's frozen. My address is out there publicly. There's nothing about me that they're going to find that isn't already out there. Like, it doesn't matter to me. You can dox me all you want. You could try to swat me, but like, I know all the police all around my area. They're fully aware that people are going to try swatting me and have continued to try to swat me. I'm not really worried about them. It's more so the 764 group that stemmed from the comm, which is a whole different set of evil that I've never seen. Where they want to they want to sextort children. And sextortion, usually for the people out there that are not familiar with that term, sextortion is when somebody sends naked photos, could be an adult or a child, and the second that those photos are sent, they say, if you don't send me X amount of dollars, I'm going to send this to your family, your friends, your school, your loved ones, and they try to extort them out of funds. Most of those sextorters, not that it's okay by any means, but most of them are just trying to make money. They're not trying to do anything evil. And 9 times out of 10, they're never going to send that to anybody. Because they're never going to get paid if they do, number one. And number two, they're like, if there was a child that they have nude images of, they would be distributing CSAM, like child sexual abuse material. So, it happened. The reason why I say that is I have a family member that's very close to me that it happened to. He sent stupid pictures. He was an underage boy, and I won't say his name, obviously, but I had to coach him through how to deal with these people, and they wanted money. They didn't want any of this other evil stuff. And I got them to click a link, the scammers. I found out that they were in a foreign country that was. I believe it was Nigeria. It was a couple years ago, but I think it was Nigerian scammers. And I told them, just ignore them. Just don't say anything to them. Ignore them. I know it's hard. I know you probably feel like they're going to ruin your life, but they have no benefit in sending your photos to anybody. And they didn't. That doesn't mean that doesn't happen. It just didn't happen to him. And most of the time, why would they? It's wrong. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not trying to make it sound okay. But in comparison to what these sextorters do, it's not even comparable, man.
I remember you telling me about these guys the last time we met in Florida.
Yeah.
How bad this shit is.
Yeah, I've been working on this for a long time. And with Sentinel, it's been a few months, but I've been working on it for a long time. So it is.
How did these guys pop on your radar?
So I was a federal agent actually gave me a heads up about them. And from there, I never heard of them at that point. And I started digging in, just reading the public stuff out there, and it blew my mind. It was like the clearest definition of, evil. Like, I keep saying the word, but it is just pure evil. And that's what they want. That's what they're going for. But it's just hard to believe that people out there exist that are even worse, or if not the same level of evil as the other people that I'm fighting against. And a lot of them are teenagers and young 20-somethings, but there's the random 30, 40 plus year olds that are involved in this as well, that they just want to cause harm. They want to cause destruction. And what is the next level? It's, it starts with, and I'll get into some of the terminology, but they call it cut signs, or I've heard in some of the groups, cut sluts is what they'll call the little girls, where they cut a username into their arm or their breasts or their legs or whatever part of their body. And it started with that. And then it was, okay, what's the next step? Kill the animals, and then, hold up a username on a piece of paper and then hold the dead animal in the other hand. And, like that group will then send that message everywhere. And then the person thinks by doing that, the child thinks by doing that, they're going to stop. They're going to leave them alone. And what ends up happening is they know that victim's just going to keep doing whatever they ask because they've already done it. And now they're in possession of the nudes. And these people will send it to your family and friends. And it's just unbelievable. There's more to it. But I want to show you some of the content and some of the questions that I'm sure you're going to have, I can answer, and I want to. There's just so much to this that I could go on like an hour tangent trying to explain it. But could I just start by showing you this situation, and then we'll take it from there.
No matter where you're watching Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.